I got a serious question. Do you know why we need more than one programming language, like in GitHub projects or repositories? Did she just turn off the... Oh my... Yo, what the... What is going on, fellas? It is Max Syntax. Welcome back to the channel. Today's topic is not demanded at all. No one requested it, but that's fine. We're talking about using multiple languages in your programming projects. Do you need it? Why do you need it? Let's get into that right now. There are a plethora. There are a multitude of programming languages that you can use for your projects out there. And, you know, I'm sure at least at one point you just sat down and pondered to yourself, hey, why the hell are there 40, 50 programming languages when all the tasks remain to not really feel that diverse? Of course, you have low-level and high-level languages, but I mean, what about all the things in between that? I mean, you have two well-known low-level languages, three if you want to include C and C++ as not being kind of the same thing, but I mean Rust, you have Zig, you have a lot, all right? Those are just the ones I know. I don't feel like making a blunder, because last video I made a blunder. I tried using ffmpeg, and I was tired, and I messed up the command, and I got flamed for it in the comments, so I'm not going to do that mistake again, okay? But anyway, I mean, what about languages like Go? Why use Go versus Python? Why use Go versus Java? What about Java versus C#? I mean, you know, they have very similar structures. Why would you want to use one over the other? And of course, if it's not in your domain, it's not really worth questioning. But me being Max Syntax, I make the stupid mistake of wondering too much, thinking too much. It's a serious thing. I had to take a break from coding for a few days because all I did was think. You know, you shouldn't be thinking about coding while you're in the shower before you go to bed. All right, I mean, maybe, sure, but I was thinking about it every night, every minute of my day, every hour I was in school. It was starting to turn into an obsession, and whatever. I'm digressing really hard right now. But seriously, I've been using Golang for about the past month and a half. I'm getting pretty good at it. I do have a decent understanding of what the architecture of the computer and internet is beforehand, so I guess I'll learn it at a higher pace. But I mean, seriously, why do we have so many languages? Well, let's get into that right now. The first of which would easily just be there are different environments and different accepted protocols and languages for each and every domain. Now, what does this mean? Well, if you go onto your browser right now, you go to any website, you'll notice that the front end is always in JavaScript and always in HTML, always CSS. Why is that? Why do we have these languages? Why is there not some new one that's taken over it already? Well, the simple answer to that would just be, you know, time. Time kind of just locks things into place. You can call it technical debt if you want, but if you look at JavaScript, it's a very interesting language with a lot of interesting features, okay? But it makes sense. The internet was basically built on JavaScript on the front end. Now, we can say the internet, that's different, but I mean front end. Everything's front end. Now, why do we use JavaScript there instead of some other language like, I don't know, C# or something? Well, obviously, there's two different structures there, but there are just different purposes. They were built on different things. That would be the very basic and obvious answer, though. But if we dive into the more deeper and more interesting response, you'll probably get a taste for why we have different languages. Now, why the hell would you want to use another language that's not Python or any of the mainstream ones? Well, it's pretty obvious that you can go ahead and learn that and use it your whole life. You can get away with that, sure, but it'll make your life a lot harder if you don't expand your knowledge. And now, why is that? Well, there's two reasons that I can think of off the top of my head, and the first of those would be different philosophies. There are just different philosophies for how to code. Now, is one of them right? No, it is a silly idea to think that there's one correct way of learning a coding language. There's functional programming versus object-oriented. You can weigh the pros and cons, but really how well you accomplish your projects and the efficiency and the speed of your program is really what matters in the end. What's under the hood is what's under the hood. It's like comparing a V8 versus like a flat 6 in an engine. The second of those would just be jobs. I know, I said a curse word there, guys. I might have to blur it out, but seriously. There are huge chunks of the internet that are written in just older languages. You can call it technical debt, sure, but it is just old stuff, and there's no harm in learning how to do it. You typically will see stories of people who just keep roofs over their head by knowing C# and Java, or anything before that, like C or C++. The whole entire internet was built off of these languages. It started from them, so of course there's going to be jobs maintaining programs written in that language. Of course there is. That's so silly to think not. You'll see the pictures of like all the pillars holding up the internet, and you'll notice that there's like random pillars on the outside that aren't even holding anything up of the structure, and it says Rust, Python, and all that, and it's true. But that doesn't mean they can add on to it though. For example, a lot of languages out there will actually have interfaces to things written in other languages. Now, it might be silly at first to think this, but seriously, a lot of the philosophies of these languages just come from being able to use newer, more modern syntax with already existing old ideas, because, you know, the old ideas have been there for so long that why the hell would you want to build it in a new language? Just write interfaces over it. And yes, that's technical debt. But seriously, this is the actual reason why. It's like, look at NumPy, for example. Do you think NumPy is written in Python? No, the interface for it is, but it's actually written under the hood in C. It's pretty easy to identify the strengths and weaknesses of every single language out there with a Google search, but actually understanding them deeply is a whole different realm. For example, I'm working on this little project here that does something kind of fun, all right? It works on your school stuff for you, and I'm like, dude, I'll just make this, all right? I just did some little libraries, you have the whole entire architecture here. But if you notice, this is just different than Python. I am used to using Python, so that's why I said Python as just instinctual, but seriously, we have go mod, go sum, and our main.go. So we have all of our little sums here. I'm pretty sure this is just for caching, but I could be wrong. And then you have all the things you need. And then what's really cool about this is that whenever you go to your actual command line browser, you can just do go, and then I'll just show this help for purposes. It's just a CLI to run anything. So if I run anything like go main.go, if I run it, then that's all there is to it. It compiles it and runs it for me. If we do this in Python, you have to do a lot of work. The packaging process for Python is one of the most discouraging things I've ever experienced. I even had to make a video on it a few months ago because damn. But anyway, now that I've run this, I'm going to go to my browser. I have a lot of tabs open. Don't question me in my search history, please. Let's go over and run to localhost 8080. And if this is the most front-end bullshit you've ever seen in your life, then I don't know what is, because, bro, I asked Claude for this, and it's really obvious. If we go to inspect, wow. We just have an artwork of a page here, and then you have the pretty CSS. Max is cool. Password Max is really cool. Login, and obviously this is not successful. I just captured your credentials. Yeah, you like that? But if we go over to our server, we have loaded successfully, and I hid the other things for security purposes. I don't need anyone hacking me. Just playing. No one's gonna hack. Actually, let's not jinx it. I've had my YouTube channel hacked before, and I was a very upset 13-year-old boy at the time. Now, a small debate that I've run into recently that kind of led me to make this video is I was like, wait a minute, I'm learning Java for a class in school right now, AP Computer Science A. And I was wondering, dude, this kind of reminds me of Go in a sense, because there's execution pools, there's workers, you have synchronous primitives, just race conditions that you can basically build into the language, built-in routines. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, Go versus Java. I'm like, wait, why would you want to use one over the other? And no better place to go than Reddit to learn about what language is better than the other, right? So I go over to Reddit. Someone literally said, oh yeah, it's the same thing, but one less verbose, this, that. And it led me to realize, dude, it's literally just philosophy and obviously just the 20 years of production Java's had beforehand. Native performance, far less bloat, no stupid inheritance, far less boilerplate, fewer proudness, hyperproductivity, first-party code styling, faster build times, designed for use in containers. Dude, this guy went on a rant. There are rants all over the internet, and every single one of them is as fun to read as the other. And it really just boils down to experience. Experience will tell you which ones are actually going to be better for you, and it's just kind of a simplified way of saying philosophy. Because it really is kind of confusing to sit here and just tell which language is better than the other. It's just not realistic either. Like, how the hell am I supposed to know? And this guy made a whole response to every single point. But like I said, there's no one answer. There's just certain things to like about the language over the other, and you just stick with it. I like Go because it's simple. Java, I think it's a really cool language as well. There's just a shit ton of writing I have to do to just get one thing done, so I don't use it. It's great for big projects. Go is great for scalable projects, but I don't know if I'd rather use Go in a big project as I would with Java, because Java is just organized, in my opinion. But anywho, thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I appreciate you. This is just my little debate and fun talk of the day. I'm gonna get this video out as soon as possible. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Have fun coding.